Supporters of the Keystone Pipeline, they're not giving up. The administration blocking the project, saying it needs more time to study the idea. And now some Republicans say they will find a way to move forward with their plan, even if it means going around the White House. Texas Congressman Poe introduced the new legislation. He's leading this charge. He's back home in Houston, Texas. And, sir, good morning to you.
Good morning, Bill.
How do you plan to get this done? It can be tricky here.
The legislation that I filed will allow Congress to approve the Keystone Pipeline in its entirety, except for that small section in Nebraska where the route is still being renegotiated in northeastern Nebraska. Congress has the authority, first of all, to approve pipelines. Back in '73, environmental obstructionists were preventing the Alaska pipeline for years. Finally, Congress just approved the Alaska pipeline. And Congress also has the legal authority to engage in foreign commerce. The only reason the administration engages in total foreign commerce is because the president in '68 gave an executive order giving that authority to the State Department. So we're on constitutionally sound ground. This is just one of several proposals. Lee Terry from Nebraska has a similar proposal.
So just,
and the way we want to do it is...
Just so I understand it, viewers understand it, you would pass legislation that would approve all the construction except for that aquifer in Nebraska, so that you get things up and running, and then when it's time to get final, you can just fill in the final piece. Is that your logic?
That is exactly correct, Bill.
Okay, now if you get that done, can you do that separately, or would you have to attach this to another piece of legislation as it moves through the House?
Well, it's a standalone bill, but it probably will be added to either an energy bill or the transportation bill, a bigger bill that covers other issues. That would give it more of a likelihood to pass the House and the Senate if we did that.
The reason I ask that is because others say you have to attach it to this payroll tax vote that will come up in a matter of weeks. And that was a rough go toward the end of the year last year. Republicans took a hit on that. But what you're saying is that you could put it outside of that, correct?
That's correct. It wouldn't necessarily be on the payroll tax bill. It would be on an energy bill or a transportation bill, a bill that is relevant to the issue. And those pieces of legislation will come up this spring probably in Congress. The House and the Senate need to pass an energy bill and a transportation bill, and that's the way that we're going to proceed on this.
Let me tell our viewers what this would amount to, the Keystone Pipeline. Here are the specs on it. About $13 million price tag there. Stretching throughout the center part of the country. Crude oil, about 1,600 miles would move through it, ending up in your home district down there in Houston, creating about 20,000 jobs in the U.S., according to many of the estimates we have gotten. What do you think would be the difference in our energy policy if the Keystone Pipeline were enacted?
Well, first, we're dealing with a stable country, Canada, and it would bring in this pipeline almost as much crude oil as we get from Saudi Arabia. We can move in a direction to make Middle Eastern politics and their oil irrelevant by dealing with the Canadians. And then, as the President says, all of the above approach, which includes drilling in the United States and off our coast. So move to a safer, secure, and an interest our nations can be better fulfilled if we deal with the Canadians rather than with some of these rogue dictators.
No, we'll see in the end.
Thousands and thousands of jobs.
We'll see in the end if you're successful. Poe, thank you. Keep us updated, okay?
Thank you, Bill.
All right.